What's good, y'all? Welcome to an episode of Buzz Boys. I'm your host, Terry. And man, I don't know, man. It's like you got pinch me or something. We're in a different universe right now. The Hornets are undefeated in Summer League. I don't think I've ever uttered those words. Well, besides the last 4 games, you feel me? But we now 5-0, man. And it just feels like we're just in a different era of Charlotte Hornets basketball, man. For several reasons, the win streak, but also something that we've never ever seen before, not that I can remember, where like the entire team was present at the game. I mean, you got GM, coach, the entire roster was at the game, like LaMelo, Miles, Mark, Nick, Grant, Seth, Trey Man in the 2002 vibes, Cody Martin, Coach Kimba, even Taj Gibson was there. Like the entire team was there, minus Mitchell, who's playing FIBA right now, and Reggie Jackson, which makes me think that he's gone. Um, um, but bro, I mean, it just was nice to see like the support. Oh, and Brandon, of course. It was just nice to see the support of the team, and apparently like the whole team ate dinner together like the night before, and I mean like the coach of the summer league team was saying he never saw anything like it. Whereas like the team, the front office, summer league guys, they're all just eating dinner together like a Hornets family, and I just got to say that speaks to the culture that the owners talked about. Jeff Peterson talked about, Charles Lee talked about forming this culture, because it's like we haven't had it, so it's just so refreshing just to see all of these changes for the better, just from the organization top to bottom. Jeff Peterson even talked about it on the air today during the game. They interviewed him, just talking about how he blessed to be a part of the front office, but Charles Lee, and even just down to get a new medical staff, like everything's new. It's so refreshing. Everything seems new. Everything's different. Just so many things that we are doing now that as a Hornets fan I've never seen this team do. It feels so good. But anyways, let's get into the game because it's pretty late. I'm trying to get this video done kind of quickly, just because we're back at it tomorrow, so I just want to go ahead and get this video out. Jake Stevens, he started out good once again. He had our first 5 points of the game. He had the little push shot, and then he hit the trailing three. That was his only three of the game. He did go 1 for 6 today, but the potential is there, man, and I truly am intrigued. I would like for him to take that last two-way spot. We might have two-way spots available. I don't know. But I like him to get one, or at least be on the Greensboro Swarm, something where he's in our system to where we can monitor his game and development, because, I mean, I'm intrigued by the potential as a stretch big. I mean, even though he still was 1 for 6 from 3, 4 for 11 today, still had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. So he intrigues me. Nick Smith Jr. and Tidjane, they got us this dub. And I got to say, shout out Xavier Simpson, too. He did his thing, too. But, I mean, Nick Smith, he just was hooping, bro. He's so crafty. Like, the craftiness that he has, being able to get to the rim, it's impressive, man. Tidjane was looking a little raw. In the first half, it was rough for him. And, a lot of people were, talking crazy about him on Twitter and all that stuff. And all I said was, let's see what his resilience is like. Let's see, okay, you had a bad first half. Okay, what can you do? Come out in the second half. And he came out in the second half and he balled. But in that first half, he was looking a little raw. And, the way that people were thinking about him, especially the announcer, Seth Greensburg, he was just yapping about him the whole night. Even when he got asked a direct question when he started playing better, like, hey, how do you feel about, Charlotte using 6th pick on him? He just pretty much was, ended up like, oh, if he just keeps working hard, he might be in the G League. Like, he was just bagging on him pretty much the whole time. But people were talking so crazy about him, man. I mean, Dude, the kid had one turnover. Like, at the beginning of the game, he was dribbling. He almost got stripped. He ended up getting fouled. And then he lost the ball under the basket and he went out of bounds. And it was kind of like back to back in a way. So everybody, oh, he's so raw. Da, da, da. Like, bro, just the last game, everybody's talking about, oh, he looks more polished than I thought. And da 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 da. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's no reason to overreact. At the end of the day, it's Summer League, bro. Everything's magnified because it's our first look at the guy. So, you know what I'm saying? Everything, you, bro, take it with a grain of salt. Like, dude, it's Summer League. Like, let the kid play. And at the same time, it's certain situations where this is where you experiment. He might not have the ball nowhere near as much in his hands on the real team like he does right now. Um, it's a time to push limits and boundaries, see what he can and can't do. Um, but anyway, Nick Smith, man, bro, he was just so smooth, like controlled. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I've seen from him in Summer League is his ability to actually lead the team on the floor when he is playing point guard, when Xavier Simpson isn't. Um, Being able to control pace, all of that stuff. You could tell was a focus of his this off season, and you know he seems like I talked about in the last few videos. Him and Charles Lee seem to be building a bond, so you know I'm sure they've had talks about it. And I mean I just like the way that he plays, man. Like it's smooth. He's at his pace, but he has a change of pace at the same time, where you know he can just slow it down, or all of a sudden blow past you. Like I love it. I love how he gets to his midi, man. He got a nice little turnaround, like bad. Like it's bro. Hey, him and Trey, man. I think they're gonna be a special backcourt off the bench, man. Um, Guys, shout out Leaky, shout out my Tar Heel guy, man. He had some like great off ball defense, bro. On ball defense as well. But it was just like a nice little sequence where like he had shut down a backdoor cut and like deflected the ball. And like the next play he came down and hit the corner three. And you know, Leaky's stats don't jump off the stat sheet, but I mean it just seems like he just always does what he needs to be doing. Now today he actually had a negative plus minus, you feel me? But watching the game, he just impacts the game. Um, he plays defense, and you know he's starting to expand his offensive game a little bit. And he was 1 for 4 from three today, but he made his first one. And he kept shooting, so it's like, hey, you know, I'm not mad at that. Um, and it just seemed like Nick can't miss. Like I keep coming back to Nick because as I'm watching the game, that's really what I'm writing down. These are the notes that I'm taking. Like it's just like dang, like, and I mean Nick literally shot 36%, but he can get so high and it can be streaky where it just seems like he can't miss, bro. Um, Moving on, you know, second quarter comes around and Tidjane is not looking so good. You know, it's just a little ugly. Um, but at the same time, it's like you got to get a kid grace. Um, because it's like this is Summer League. Now, I gotta applaud Xavier Simpson because he actually is a good point guard, which is something that this summer league squad has never seen in years. Um, but he's nowhere near Lamelo. You know, at the end of the day, um, you put Tijon on that real roster, and he's gonna be able to succeed more with NBA caliber talent around him. I truly think that. Um, it's just so crazy because literally my next note is just Nick being so crafty. Like the way that he plays, the way that he breaks down a defense, like so young, is truly impressive. Like he's crafty, bro. Like the turnaround floater, like who has that in their bag? Like his bag is kind of extensive. I'm not gonna lie. And then he shows some creation ability today, which I like, even though he only finished with like 2 assists, I believe. Yeah. Nick only finished with 2 assists, but he definitely shows some flash of being able to create for others. Um, Literally, I'm trying to think of the play in my head, but I know he was in the corner. He came around on the wing, threw the ball to the other side, to Morgan for the buzzer beater, and I was impressed by that. Like, okay, look at him. Um, and then the third quarter, like I think Nick he kind of lost his dribble a little bit, but he still found Stevens on a cut, and he was able to score. And you know it impressed me, man. Like I'm really ready for the season to start because I just want to see this team thrown together, how they look, and what can be accomplished. I'm sorry, the camera cut off right there. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what this team can accomplish thrown together. Um, Nick and Tidjane, they're intriguing to me. I feel like they both will get minutes on this team this year. We do have a lot of guards. I think Reggie Jackson's not in the equation. Addis Seth Curry does add another guard back into the rotation. But I think NSJ could potentially uproot Mitchich, and just have that him and Trey Man backcourt. He could be on the small side, but at the same time, Nick's defense is coming along. Trey Man is a good defender. For his size, he's a great defender. But he's a good defender. And I feel like that firepower would just be amazing to see. And as far as Tidjane, man, that second half he came alive, bro. That second half he came alive. Excuse me. He had the jab step in the corner, drove all the way for the and one. I think he missed the free throw, but still. And then he got like a deflection like the very next play, and that just speaks to like his motor, you know what I'm saying? And also having good plays leads to more good plays because it's like, you are motivating yourself, you're motivating your team. Especially for him, I'll never forget, in his introductory press conference, he talked about how energy is big for him. So, he has a good play. He's going to bring that for the rest of the team. Later on that quarter, he had, some Giannis-esque coast-to-coast and 1 Euro step, like, kind of similar to his play from the other day where he went coast-to-coast and had the and 1, like, at the end of the day, call the kid raw, whatever, and he's nowhere near as raw as I thought. I feel like there's a role for him on his team. He rebounds, he plays hard, he's 6'9", 6'10", can play defense, can switch, run the floor, can shoot when he's open. There's a role for him on this team. I truly do believe that. But yeah, bro, we might have a little baby Giannis. You know what I'm saying? He's 18 years old. Like, he's gonna be eligible for a rookie contract extension and still not even gonna be legal to drink. We're good. But yeah, he had a little coast to coast Euro and 1, and they're like, it was tough. He really showed his potential. And then it's like from then on, like it just started getting ugly. Leaky had the little dunk and gave us a 15-point lead, and we just kind of started running away with it. And I got to give props to Denver because they definitely did get back in the game. But at that point, we were just in total control of it. And it was just nice to see, man. Like, I want to see the streak keep going. I want to see the streak keep going. And at one point we were up by like 24. At one point we were up by a good amount, and like that was when it just kind of started, But Denver did get back. They did cut it down to like 4 or 5. Going to that fourth quarter, Nick Smith Jr. hit a 3, and he was 4 for 14 from 3. At one point, I think he was like 1 for 11. And he hit that 3 just at the beginning of the fourth. And then Tidjane started to lock in, had the another similar drive coast to coast. He missed it this time. Got the tip in, got his own board, got the tip in. And then like the ball like fell through and hit off his head or whatever, and they gave him a tech, and they're like, bro, it's summer league, bro. What's going on, bro? It's BS. And then after that, he came down and hit the 3, and I was so happy to see him hit a 3. It was his first one of the summer league. I was just happy because it's like he can do it. I have watched his film. I know that he can shoot the ball. He might not be, 40% guy this year, but I know he can be a respectable mid-30 shooter. So, it was good to see him knock down at 3. I think that was good for his confidence as well. And, with all the home team on the bench during the game, I'm looking at the bench to see these guys' reactions, and, the whole bench is like, hey, so everybody was happy to see him, make that 3, and it fired him up as well. And then, later on that fourth quarter, it's like Nick hit 2 back-to-back 3s, and that was the icing on the cake right there, man. Like, those two guys, I mean, I look at them like, yo, they got us the dub. Nick Smith, what he finished with, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, had a block, 4 turnovers. But at the end of the day, I mean, he did his thing. Wasn't the most efficient game, but at the end of the day, look who's on the floor with. Gotta do what you gotta do. Somebody gotta take the shots. It just is what it is. And then Tidjane, in only 18 minutes of play, had the double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, only 1 turnover, 2 fouls, had a plus 12, plus minus. And at the end, that's what you want to see. He was 50% from the field, 25% from 3, 1 for 4. But I expect that to kind of pick up. And I'm happy, bro. I'll take a 50% field goal and a double-double in 18 minutes. I mean, and it's like Leaky played 27 minutes. Xavier Simpson played 32 minutes. Obviously, I know he played the most because he's literally like pretty much the only point guard on the roster. But it's like, if we can see Tidjane play 27 minutes, what would his stats look like? So that's where, bro, I'll take a double-double. And I'm just thinking about the future, thinking about the real roster, where his talents can expand just even more, and he just have even less pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the perks of where we are as a team right now. Years ago, a number 6 pick, oh yeah, you got to be the franchise hero. You got to, if you don't have 20 points this season, it's disappointment. Nah, Tidjane can come in this year, come off the bench, just contribute, show us some flashes. Cool. You know what I'm saying? We have LaMelo, Brandon, Miles, Mark. If you want to look at that as our big 3, big 4. You talking about, veterans, Grant Williams. Like we have guys to where it's like, it's not going to really be on Tidjane to like, carry us. Like, we actually have the luxury of being able to sit back and develop a project, which is excellent, man. Something great to have. Anyways, I'm not going to keep this video too long. I just want to straight up say I appreciate you guys. The views on every video is just up. Subscribers going up literally every day. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Welcome to the family. If you're new, if you reach this point in the video and you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell if you haven't already, just so you can be notified when I drop a new video, which is damn near every day at this point. We're right back at it tomorrow. We play the Celtics at 5:30. I don't know if it's on ESPN2 or NBA TV, but I don't know. Y'all be able to find it at some point. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up so I can hurry up and edit and get out to y'all. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man, on the next one. Until then, peace.